And bam, welcome back to Nando Talk. The Miami Dolphins are set to open at home against the New England Patriots. And honestly, I think we're going to absolutely smack the Pats. Mac Jones, you have no hope against the boys. Our defense is going to absolutely light you up. Tua Tagovailoa is going to dot it up to Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, Cedric Wilson, Mike Gesicki. Need to name more weapons. We're talking about the best receiving core in the AFC. These guys are ready to let it fly. I'm excited to see the offense and the defense. I'm excited to soak in the energy at Hard Rock, and it all starts at week 1. What better chance than against Bill Belichick and the Patriots, our hated rival. It's going to be fun. This is a must-win week for the Dolphins. The Patriots are just not a good team. They're more comparable to the Jets than they are to us right now. I don't know what's happening in New England, but Belichick is not developing a nice enough roster right now. Matt Patricia and Joe Judge should not be offensive coordinators. Devontae Parker should not be your wide receiver one, and it's clear to see why Mac Jones is struggling. Not really fault of his own. He's just not set up for success right now, and I think the Dolphins take advantage of that, and in week 1, we come and deliver. We're going to light them up probably by 10, 14 points. It's going to be a nice time. Just be a Miami Dolphin. We're going to be firing all cylinders, and we're ready to go. I'll further break down the Dolphins game in a later episode, probably on Friday when we got more clarity on everything that's happening. You know, I did have a great hour and a half interview with Elite Takes, my guy Nico, epic football mind, and very young budding star right there in the industry. You want to check it out? I'm going to drop a link right up here. It's an epic hour and a half. I've got a time segmented. We talk about the Patriots for about 10, 15 minutes. We talk about the entire Dolphins schedule for about an hour and a half. I'll segment it through it out as well. It's a very cool video, and Nico's a great football mind. If you want to check it out, like I said, I'm going to have put up the link, and it's a great one for you to check out. Like, comment, and subscribe. It's going to help out the channel. We're bringing you big things. But without further ado, we're going to get to the second half of this video. That's right, a twofer for the people. We're talking about our little Patriots expectations. Like I said, we'll break down the game further on Friday. But for now, let's talk about some season expectations and the record predictions, guys. Because bada bing, bada bam. For the most part, I had already given our record prediction. I had said that we're going to be 12-5. It's not the best record to be having, but at the end of the day, what am I saying, guys? 12-5 is beautiful for the Miami Dolphins. We look at this schedule, a very tough schedule, and I had thought the Miami Dolphins were going to be 12-5. That was before we knew. This was back in May. Now, given how the roster is broken down, now given how the fact that we won't have Byron Jones for the first 4 weeks, I'm going to adjust my record prediction from 12-5 to probably 11-6, but we're going to check it out and see how I develop it through the weeks, the schedule. We start off with New England at home, and like I said, I think that's going to be a week 1 dub and a must win. The Dolphins are going to show us that this is a team that deserves our attention. This is the most talented roster we've had in the last 20 years, and we're going to prove it week 1 when we defeat Belichick. Tua's going to go 4-0 against Chicken. It's going to be a fun time, Miami, and we're going to be on a little bit of a high horse, as I think we're going to win 30-20 that week 1. But we'll talk about how that gets done later in the week on Friday. For now, let's talk about the rest of the schedule, how we build to that end of the season playoff push. When we get to Baltimore away and Buffalo at home, it's a bit tough to gauge how that's going to turn out. I do hope we're going to go 1-1 over that stretch, which would take us to, 2-1, a nice spot to be at after week 3. I want to say we can beat Baltimore. Supposedly the Miami Dolphins built the blueprint to defeat Lamar Jackson last year, albeit they were a little bit of a weakened team with injuries in the secondary and then not having their top 3 running backs, J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards, all down. Now they're expected to be more at full health. We're going away, and traditionally the Ravens in the last couple of years have had the Miami Dolphins number. I even thought that week 8 last year, the Dolphins were going to get smacked by Lamar Jackson and the boys, but it turns out we came through at home and our defense lit it up. For us to win in Baltimore, I know that the Ravens have one of the worst wide receiver cores in the NFL, and that's going to offset the loss of Byron Jones. But our defensive front seven has to come ready to play. We need guys like Channing Tindall, Jerome Baker, very athletic linebackers to contain Lamar Jackson. Javon Holland and Brandon Jones, hopefully they can blitz again and find that room in the backfield like they were terrorizing Lamar Jackson last year. It'll be a nice to see if the Dolphins defense can replicate that performance. It'll be all on them. If we beat them, Buffalo is obviously still a must-win game. But to say we're going 3-0 to start the season is obviously a tall task. That's why I say 1-1. I do think we're going to split with Buffalo, regardless of whether if we win at home. Obviously, week 3, I think we are going to win. We are going to lose away. Down in what it looks to be 18, 17, week 15. I think we'll lose to Buffalo then. We'll take one at home, lose away. If we lose at home, obviously that away week 15 is a must win for the Miami Dolphins. And I think the boys will pull through and will manage to go 5-1 in the division. That does not change my record prediction. I said we were going to go 12-5. I think we go 11-6 now, but we will still go 5-1 in the AFC East. So Buffalo, if we beat Baltimore week 2, we'll unfortunately drop that game to Buffalo. I don't think we're going to go 3-0. It would be lovely, totally beautiful. But in this case, that's why I project us will beat the Patriots, lose to the Ravens, and then beat Buffalo to be a nice 2-1. Here's the big game that changes. Originally, I had us beating the Bengals and ending up at 3-1. It was looking nice and pretty. It was a pretty tall ask for me, but hey, I'll snipe that game. Unfortunately, though, without Byron Jones and what I've been talking about with people, it doesn't seem to be that the Dolphins will pull that out. Short week. We're going to Cincinnati, and if we have just beaten Buffalo, I think we'll be a little bit too confident. It'll be a bit of a letdown game for us, quote unquote. I think we'll hang along with Cincinnati's offense, but that offense will prove to be too powerful for the likes of that cornerback to stop a guy like T. Higgins and Jamar Chase just lining her up on the field. Ty Boyd, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, when you've got a wide receiver core that deep, it's tough for any corner group to match up with it. If we had Byron Jones and Xavier Howard and Nick Needham, I'd say we've got to bet as good a shot as anybody in the NFL. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem to be the case. Byron Jones will be coming back to us week 5 against the Jets. So for now, I've got us 2-2 after that start. Pretty nice, pretty easy, honestly. It's still a beautiful spot to be in. There is a world where we're 1-3. It's a tough world. I'm hoping we're going to be 2-2. I think the Dolphins have the talent and the depth on offense and defense to hang in tough and prove that these Dolphins are a new Miami Dolphins team that can get through these tough stretches of offense. Because after that, this tough stretch of the season completely lightens up. We play the Jets away. Not even going to bother breaking that into that. Whether it's Joe Flacco or Zach Wilson, the Dolphins defense is going to swallow the Jets alive, and we're going to absolutely dog them. Okay? New York, well, and actually in New Jersey, we're going to beat them, and we're going to go a nice elevate up to 3-2. We'll play against the Vikings back at home finally. Fan week. We'll continue the win streak. I think we're going to beat the Vikings. That's going to bring us up to 5-2. No, 4-2. What am I saying? That'll be a beautiful to see. 4-2. Wow. Oh, wow. The Dolphins are a fully chugging. This is where we really have to build up steam, It's fan week. I get it. Justin Jefferson's a tough ask, but thankfully it's only Xavier Howard against Justin Jefferson. It'll leave Byron Jones to lock down Adam Thielen. I'm not scared of this guy. He is a crisp route runner. I know our corners will match up and do the right match to absolutely shut down Kirk Cousins in the bright lights. It's going to be beautiful. We're going to go to 4-2. Bada bing, bada bam. We play Pittsburgh Sunday night. Last time when I broke down the schedule, I said my 3 favorite games were the Week 1 Patriots game, the Week 7 Steelers game, and the Week 16 Christmas in Miami Packers game. But that's Week 7. That Week 7 Steelers game, Brian Flores back in the building. Linebacker coach, we need to show him that his defense is nothing. Brian Flores back in the building. Linebacker coach, we need to show him that the defense is nothing. We need to show him that his weird ass decisions were just hurting our team and we're there to shut him down. They've got Minka Fitzpatrick at safety, so I always want to show it to Minka that he's an idiot for wanting to get traded for the Dolphins going to Pittsburgh. They just traded for Jesse Davis. Speaking of trades, hey, sorry, Jesse, but I got to show the Pittsburgh. If you're starting at that point, we got absolutely dog him and let the Pittsburgh people know that we knew you weren't a good tackle enough to be a starter. Dead piece, yes, but not a starter. A lot of pain caused by Jesse Davis, and we can rectify and put those ghosts to rest. We can put Jesse Davis to rest. We can put Brian Flores to rest, and more Minka Fitzpatrick pain to rest. It's a beautiful time under the bright lights. We haven't had a Sunday night football game in the longest. I can't even remember the last time. It's beautiful for the Dolphins to have that on Sunday night. I'm excited to go. As you know, I'm a season ticket holder. So Section 349 will be loud, will be rowdy, and it's going to be a good time as we smack the Pittsburgh Steelers. Bang, orang, we go 4-2. Now we're 5-2. Bada beam, bada boom. And the win streak continues because now we go to the NFC North. I know that for the 49ers and the Chargers game on our West Coast trip, McDaniel is planning to stay on the West Coast. He's going to stay for the Chargers and the 49ers game. I'm hoping he replicates that plan against in the NFC North on a little trip up north. We go to Detroit. We lay a can of whoop ass on them. We beat them up, and then we go to Chicago and we do the same because Detroit is a subpar team. Dan Campbell, I love you, man. It's nice to see your energy. It's been cool seeing you on Hard Knocks. But at the end of the day, the Dolphins, we've been talking about it for a while. We've had a nasty penchant for playing down to our level of competition. This is the time where we've got to continue to beat on bad teams. The Lions are not there yet. They're not ready yet. They need another year at least, and the Dolphins are going to prove it to them that this is our time, and they've still got to wait. So we'll send them a Karayan, and then we'll go to Chicago, Soldier Field, and our soldiers will go out there and lay another can of whoop ass on them because the NFC North does not frighten me right now. That's right. We're going to sweep through the NFC North. Stay tuned for that. Bang, orang. That's the Nando hot take. I just realized that's what I'm calling, and that's what's balling, and we'll be going through that. It's okay because Justin Fields still has the growing pains in year 2. They need that offensive-minded coach, and they went for a defensive-minded one. And Eberflus, it's fine. They ride. I do have Justin Fields in fantasy. Maybe he'll do some nice showings, but not that week against Miami as our front seven just absolutely rattles them. Channing Tindall will have had experience against fast quarterbacks like Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen by then. I think he can easily contain Justin Fields. It's going to be a fun one in Chicago. So that right there, we go from 5-2 to 6-2 to 7-2. Oof. Wow. Oh, wow. We go play against the Browns. And originally, I think I had this as a tough game, but now that we're just playing Jacoby Brissett and no longer just Deshaun Watson, oof. Wow. We're going to dog them. 8-2 entering the bye instead of 7-3. And I know you ask, Nando, you had us projected 7-3 and then 5-2. So how are you going to get to 11-6? Well, it's pretty obvious we're going to drop another game after the bye. But entering the bye, we're firing on all cylinders. 8-2. We just beat Jacoby Brissett in the Brownies Bowl. We did in the Brissett Bowl. The brisket has been cooked, and we have feasted. The Dolphins are firing all cylinders. And I know you think, Nando, you're a little too positive right now. Nando, you're crazy to think we're 8-2. Realistically, we can obviously go 7-3, 6-4. I think 8-2 is a lot to ask for. Particularly in those first 4 games, I think that's where we're going to see some tough ones. But from the Jets to the Browns, I generally think we're going to smack every single one of the teams. The Vikings is the only one that scares me a tad, So then we get to the Texans. Okay, right after the bye, a nice point to reset. We're going to beat them, continue the win streak, get to 9-2. And I know you think, Nando, you are crazy. How do you still have this? Okay. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, baby. We're 9-2. Davis Mills, long neck McGee does not scare me. Brandon Cooks is going to absolutely gobble, gobble, gobble. Brandon Cooks. Sorry, Xavier Howard's going to swallow you down. It's going to be a nice meal for him. Easy pickings. Okay. Our secondary, our defense keeps developing, keeps growing. Bada beam, bada blam. We beat them. And I know you're thinking, this guy, I might as well turn him off. All he's been talking about is win after win after win. This is where the pain begins. Because the 49ers, I did have us. I did have them beating us, and I do continue to have them beating us. We're gonna face admirably a tough battle, but unfortunately, we will not beat the San Francisco 49ers. No, sir. And that'll be the end of our win streak. We'll go to 9-3. Coach Shanahan knows Mike McDaniel like the back of his hand. And as much as I want to think that Mike McDaniel is going to outcoach his former mentor, I think that this year he does have his numbers. This year he knows his tendencies a little bit too well. And I think Mike McDaniel just dropped that game. We'll go to 9-3. It's not the end of the world. I did have us originally beating the Chargers, but unfortunately, guys, a losing streak is inbound because we will lose to the Chargers in a tight game. I actually think Tua's going to outperform a little bit Justin Herbert, who's going to get carried a bit by his defense, but they're going to stop a crucial run, and Tua's going to have performed in the bright lights. And the naysayers will be there, but I'll point to the stat lines where Tua has outperformed Justin Herbert in the bright game, in the prime time, despite losing. Even though I want to say we'll win, and I want to say the Dolphins are going to rally around Tua, I've got to understand that the Chargers are so nasty this year. It's a lot to ask for. They finally paired a great offense, which had 8 Pro Bowlers last year, with a great defense. They brought in Khalil Mack. Derwin James is one of the best safeties in the NFL. We got Bosa out there as well. Come on, guys. It's a team to be respected. This is where the Homer hat comes off. I would love to come on with a little tinfoil hat and say that we're going to destroy the Chargers. Tua's going to light them up and show why Justin Herbert was his son as the 6th overall pick, why the Oregon boys should stay in the Pac-12, why the SEC stud in Tua is ready to go. But we're going to be a little realistic, and we're going to go from 9-3 to 9-4. Buffalo, like I said, I think we beat them in week 3 and we split, so that's an easy one. Bada beam, bada blam. That's 9-5 now. So a little bit of steam has been let out of the balloon. So there we go. We dropped 3 games in a row. Tough L's, but I think the Dolphins will shine competitively throughout those 3 games, showing we're a tough hang. We got some good guys out there who can fight with the best of them. And then Christmas in Miami, some Christmas magic. We snap the losing streak and we defeat Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. Yes, they've got a frisky defense, but the Dolphins defense is the boys, okay? As weird as that may sound, as weird as I phrased it, that's as simple as I can get. The Dolphins defense is going to rattle Aaron Rodgers. That's right, sending pressure, absolutely locking down those young rookies in Christian Watson, Josh Dobbs, the Lizard King, Alan Lazard. He's a big boy, but I think we've got the right personnel to stop him. We can create some havoc. And I think our offense, as frisky as that Packers defense is, I think our offense at this point will have gelled sufficiently that our run game can get some nice tempo going, set up the play action, and watch Tua let it fly. Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle are going to gobble them up. There's only so much Jair Alexander can do. Yes, they do have a semi-decent secondary, but the Dolphins are ready to go, and Tua is flowing at this point. So we get some Christmas magic, and the Dolphins beat Aaron Rodgers. I think it's going to be a close game, but I can see it now. Tua Tagovailoa leading a late drive at the end, and we win, whether it's a touchdown or a field goal. Bada beam, bada bam. Tua leads that dub, and Aaron Rodgers at the end of the game points to him. They come up at the center field, take off their helmets, go to that little face-to-face when the whispering, and they take that iconic photo, and it's just Aaron Rodgers saying, you know what, man? You're a baller. You're certified. Stamp of approval. We see the passing of the torch as a GOAT, and Aaron Rodgers gives his little stamp to Tua, and it just continues to cap off what at this point is a tremendous season from Tua. And we go from 9-5 to 10-5. And you're like, dang, the Homer hat is coming back on. But no, sir, don't worry, because now we're going to Foxborough. And as much as I would love Tua Tagovailoa to go 5-0 against the Patriots, as lovely as that sounds, I have to understand that Bill Belichick at this point will be backpedaling so hard. It'll be tough for old Bill. He'll be fighting to be not 4th in division. Hopefully at this point of the season, he's fighting for 3rd. They'll have a losing record, so he'll pull all the stops, all the magic, call every single play on offense, defense, special teams, and that old man Bill will eke out a win in Foxborough. Tua's going to mightily outperform Mac Jones. We'll have a Buffalo Bill-esque performance where he's asked to do nothing as our defense absolutely shuts him down. Heavy running, and the Patriots defense ekes out a very close, low-scoring win in Foxborough as they dominate time possession, and the Dolphins lose to go 10-6. Wah, wah, I cry. But it's okay because the Dolphins will be on their way to the playoffs and the Patriots on their way to a losing season. Because all that holds us back from our destiny of 11-6 is the New York Jets. I'm hoping at this point the Jets have still not won a division game since 2019. Because, guys, they have not won one since 2019 as the time of this recording. The New York Jets are a horrible franchise. The New Jersey Paper Planes cannot hang with most teams in the NFL, and they will certainly not hang with the Miami Dolphins in the last week of the NFL. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to see the boys rock. It's a nice way to cap off the season as we see the Finns absolutely dominate Zach Wilson, Joe Flacco, whoever it may be. If I wasn't afraid of them in MetLife, of going out there in New Jersey, I'm dang sure not afraid of them in Miami Gardens at the Hard Rock. We're going to absolutely dominate them to cap us off at 11-6. Our offense is going to come a-flowing. Our defense is rumbling and bumbling, causing them to be fumbling, taking picks left and right. You name it. Takeaway galore. I'm projecting a dominant showing as we finish 11-6. And that's how we get there, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the new score prediction for the Miami Dolphins. 11-6, a tad more conservative, my 12-5. I think it'll be enough to get us as a wild card spot for the playoffs. I'm hoping the Miami Dolphins can produce some magic. I think that we've got the right men for the job. This is the most talented Miami Dolphins team we've seen in the last 20 years. Mike McDaniel has assembled a wonderful group of players, a strong coaching staff at every position. I know there's some question marks at corner right now when Byron Jones isn't there, but I trust in Sam Addison and Pat Surtain to bring the best out in this unit. These are cornerback legends for the Dolphins, men who know what it is. They've expressed their joy of having learned their craft in Miami and now having the ability, the opportunity to continue to teach that craft to a new generation of Dolphins players. I think my big prediction is for this week one against the Patriots. I think that whoever starts alongside Xavier Howard and Nick Needham on that other outside corner is in for a big game, as he knows if I get the start, it's time to win my starting job, whether it's Kadir Kohu, whether it's Keon Crossan, whether it's Noah Igbenogany, who I think he has the biggest chance of getting a pick six due to his athletic ability. I think that this outside corner is going to get a pick, take it to the house, and show the Dolphins secondary is fine. We're ready to rock. You'll see Sam Addison and Pat Surtain showing them, I trusted you. I knew in you. You'll see Xavier Howard dapping him up, ready to rock. It's going to be a wonderful sight, man. I do think the secondary is going to be fine in good shape because we've got good coaches like Sam and Pat, and we've got good coaches like that at every single level of the Miami Dolphins. What a time to be a Dolphins fan. Honestly, guys, I cannot understate how excited I am for the Miami Dolphins. I cannot begin to convey this level of excitement. We've got a lot tuned in for this week. Today's the only day where I'll probably be doing solo. Yesterday, I had an interview with Nico Elite Takes. I'll probably try to drop that link again if I can here. If not, further on in this week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I will be trying to have a guest every single day. I think I already have my guest lineup for Wednesday. I've got my boy Nathan from my season tickets, the number one Nando Mando fan, the number one Nando Talk fan. I'll have him on Saturday. I'll probably be going over to his house or I'll be coming over to mine. It'll be a nice in-person talk. Wednesday, I think I've got my guest. Thursday, I'm still looking for one. Friday, I think I've got it locked in. But Friday, I've also got some live show at Dirty Sportswear. It's going to be an epic time on the Miami Sports Music. Clockblockers with Stephen D. We've got Cameron 954 from the East 32. It's going to be an epic live show. A bunch of other personalities and fans are going to be there as well. 9 in the morning to 12, like the show normally rocks. I'm a host there on Tuesdays. It's a fun time on the mornings. I've been doing Mondays recently, but we're moving to Tuesdays during the season. It's going to be an epic time. I'm going to do my first live in-person podcast, and I'm very excited. I'll try to get some clips for the channel, or I'll send some links so we can show it over on the way. But hey, tune into that. Big things on Nando Talk. It's week one of the Patriots. Catch me also in person at East 32. I'll be doing some live podcasting work there on game day. Oh, baby. It's going to be a fun time. I'll be guzzling some Vasasurs. We'll have some good Dolphins positive vibes. I'll be getting the good content out to you guys. Like, comment, and subscribe. Please help us grow. We're at 333 subs. We're so close to 350. The goal was to be 400 by the start of the season. Hey, we'll take 350, whatever it is you guys want to do. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for supporting me at Nando Talk. It is truly humbling. We're right on the cusp of some good Dolphins football, right there for the start of the season, and I'm excited, and I hope you are too. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for enjoying, and as always, I'll see you next time on Nando Talk. Bada beam, bada bam. Thanks for enjoying, and fins up.